Hello and welcome to my channel, and today I've got a little whip and chat for you. So this is Elsa, Queen of the Mountain, which is my Christmas in July project and my forever background project. It's very wintry and snowy, so yes, let's get cracking straight away. So all I use for this, I'm using just a normal DAC tray, which I've just noticed has got a huge gouge out of it. I've got a DAC pen because that's how I roll. I mostly place with tweezers, so these are the Diamond Art Studio angled nose tweezers that I like. Got my little Admore Zest trashy pot, and I've got this, which I'm mostly here for the straightener. Though on this canvas, because it's so big, it's 130 centimeters deep. So yeah, this is a big project. So occasionally I do bust out the multi-placer. It's only a 4-placer, and I only use it for part of it, but like to give me a little bit of a head start. And I've got all the drills here. So I'm just going to stick this up here. That sounds rude. I'm going to stick this up here. So, hello, how are we all today? It is, what is it? Wednesday. And I'm going to attempt to, well, if I'm really organised, I'll get this edited this afternoon and it'll go up for members first tonight. And then it will go live on Thursday, is my hope. I forgot to bring out a thingy, a cover minder, but that's too bad because I'm not going back in the other room. It's already late for me. Right, I'm going to start this side. Let's start with a nice pink little heart. It's already late for me. I was going to film this morning, right, but as is the way of life for a person who films, my neighbours, right, how am I going to hold this because I don't want it to stick in the glue, but it's probably going to stick in the glue. My neighbours decided today was a good day to have the tree surgeons in, which, you know, fair enough, you've got to have your garden done and things like that. But unfortunately, as you may realise, with a tree surgeon and a lot of wood, meant he also brought back oh look, you see it already. This is how we start the day. This is a bit slippery, and that it doesn't help that it's right. I'm just going to do this. We'll just do the outside edge. When there's like half a square covering a row, because these dots and these perforations do not always line up, I'll do that. So just peel that back. We're just going to do the outside edge here. But this canvas is one of the slippery variety. We do have some slick glue, but it's not all over. But I've noticed I'm on the left hand side of the painting, and the left hand side definitely seems worse than the right hand side for whatever reason. Anyway, but as you may realise, with a tree surgeon that's chopping off big chunks of tree, as they do, as is their wont, it also meant that they had the wood chipper out. And like this mic does filter out a lot of the background noise now, but there was nothing filtering that out. It was like, yeah. So that put paid to my morning. No, don't go to the right there. We're doing the line. Yeah, so that put paid to any plans I had for filming this morning. And we are in a heat wave, because that's all I seem to say these days. To be fair, this is like the third heat wave of the year, and we are in our second week of it now, and it is not ending anytime soon. I film next to the window, and while I do have the fan on, is that the edge all done? That's the no one down here. Let's do one down here as well. Just think underneath there. Let's do all of this along this line. Can you see that? I've got this sitting in my lap. Let me just very gently move this up. You're a bit more central though. It's awkward because I don't want to. I have to be quite distant because I've got the canvas over the edge of the table. I don't want to risk leaning forward because that will crease my canvas. We do not want to crease my canvas. So I'm just going to do this line here, which is on the edge of the perforation. But yeah, so we're in the heat wave, and I film beside the window. I have the window here. I have my overhead light on this side, and it kind of balances out, so there isn't much in the way of shadow. So it does work out quite well. Is that my only one? No, that goes there. That's it. Right. But yeah, it's glass, and even with like things on doing cooling down things pointed at me, there's still like a little bit of a greenhouse effect through the window, through the glass. But aside from that, hopefully the glare. I've got the blinds down. I think I've mostly mastered it. When the sun comes through, like there is like lines. I've got panelled windows so that you can get shadows through where the panels of the window are. And I moved the triffid. I've got a house plant that usually sits on my windowsill. The triffid goes, and otherwise you would see that. And I'm just going to try and work it fast enough. So it may be a little bit of a short whipping chat, but because at some point the sun will go in a direction which shows the lines of the window panes. But I'm hoping to beat it. Anyway, long story short, how are you all? I hope you are well. I hope if things aren't going particularly well for you at the moment, real life, you know how it is. Real life is getting to you. You've got a lot on your plate. Then I hope it gets better for you soon. And I hope in the meantime, me talking absolute nonsense will help at least distract you for a while. And we'll get through it. Eventually it will get better. I promise. Everything does get better. Just have to slog through the highs and lows of life, don't we all? Right, I'm not going to go too far over there. Let's just stick on this bit because my hand will start sticking to it. But yeah, so what have I been up to in the last week? Well, I should have brought it out. I've got my little 26 for 26 tick box sheet that I made. Wow, so at the end of my 6 month roundup, where I was talking about 26 for 26, and I was talking about that sheet, and like it was full of ticks, and I said what I'm going to do is I'm going to count up the ticks, and then I'll just put the number to the right of the painting, and then I can start with a nice clean sheet and put in more ticks. And my goal before the next update, which at the time I think I was aiming for like end of September or early October, sometime around then, an autumn one update in 3 months' time. And my goal was to have everything. I had most things at 2 ticks, but there was a few projects that only had 1 tick. And obviously, I still have 12 canvases to kit up for that challenge, which I want to do most of them before the next update, because I'm saving the Diamond Art Studio, which is the 1st of November, for their event. That I want that to be my final one to kit up. I don't want to go into December, which is historically is a very busy time. I don't want to be dealing with like I've got to finish my challenge. I've got to finish my challenge. Like I want to be kind of happily contented, done with it. And then December, if I have time to diamond paint, then it's all about just adding some extra ticks. Anyway, I digress. In shock news, I'm wibbling away, right? But I can put this back now, can't I? Sorry if you heard that. I think that was an ambulance just going past. I live in London. I've not done this spiel for a while because the microphone it's a lot better. But I'm pretty sure you heard that one because it was quite loud. But I live in London. I'm on a through route, especially during the daytime, because there's not many sets of traffic lights or places that cars have to stop. So the emergency services do use it as a through route during the daytime because all the other roads get congested. But this one isn't too bad. But anyway, what was I saying? I cannot remember. Oh yeah, so this sheet that I've now transferred over all of the tick boxes. I've updated it, and I have now confirmed, because I'm saying I'm not sure why I like this challenge so much. It's part of it, I think, is kitting up. Part of it was because I came off the back of a little break for a couple of months, so I wasn't doing really any diamond painting. And then the third thing I thought was like there's these boxes, little tick boxes, check boxes, whatever. And I had this feeling that like finishing a section and being able to tick that box and consider like that part of the list like as almost as a to-do list, it felt very satisfying, and it was feeding the dopamine levels of happiness. I'm very slow diamond painter, so like I don't get many completions to get that sort of satisfaction, and I think the tick boxes was like doing a mini version of that. Anyway, I have now had that confirmed because all the projects moved across, and the ones that I'd done two sections of, or some even more, like 3 or 4 sections of, like that should have been enough, and I didn't have to worry about that. No, no, I've seen all this. I look at the sheet now, and I just see another row of empty tick boxes. I'm like, gotta fill the boxes. I've got to tick all the boxes again. So yeah, that's sort of rejuvenated me again. If I was sort of starting to flag at the end of like the first couple of months of this challenge, that is no longer the case. I'm as revitalized as ever. So I've done quite a lot. This is a good time. I took a little bit of footage just before I started because I thought I just zoomed out so you can see the whole painting. But yeah, I'll put that in now. Future me, no, past me. I know what I'm talking about. Future me is about to come up. Past, future, whatever. Time travel. So I'm going to put that in now. But I did worry that I was going to forget about it, and I nearly did. But anyway, I'm going to put that little clip in now, and you can see what I've done with this painting. Right, so future me will hopefully remember that I've just filmed this footage, just so that you can all see. So this square here is where I started this year's Christmas in July. And so I'd done 3 squares when I did the 26 for 26, the mid-year update. And then this and this and this and this is what I've done since, which is a week ago. So it's 4 squares. This one is a bit bigger than a normal square, but this first one is a bit smaller than a normal square. So it all works out. But yeah, I've done 4 squares. That's amazing. And I'm going to be starting one. Well, I will have already started one when you watch this. I think I'm going to do this one. But yeah, so this is nice and simple. I always forget how quickly these squares work up because it's semi-blocky. Anyway, I just thought I would show you that because that just leaves 1, 2, 3, 4 to do after this for the rest of the month. Okay, back to future me. All right, so yeah, so I've done what did I say? 4 sections in a week. So that does put me ahead of schedule. Only a little bit. I think I figured it out that I could do a section of this sort of one section every 2 to 3 days sometimes. I couldn't do it I couldn't do a section every 3 days for the duration, but occasionally, if it was a bit too much, I could do one section every 3 days if I needed to. But I'm kind of whizzing through it. I do forget how quickly these sections work up because of the lack of color changes. I'm used to doing so many confetti things, and if there's color blocking, it's very 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 blocky, which I usually hate. But because this is like it's not overtly color blocky. Like there's a little patch here, there's a little patch here, there's a little patch here. Do you know what I mean? And so I'm not having to get that sort of burnout of doing blocking, but I'm getting the speed of it. The benefits of working on one color and not having to constantly color change. But I am still getting enough variation that I can, not it's not confetti, but there's little bits here that's all by itself, just breaks it up a bit. And so it turns out up there I was it was a bit grim. There's all this grey here. There was grey in this bit as well. I'm not fond of the grey, to be honest, but there's this 2 stripes, 2 slashes. That's a bit of a dull colour. There's no 2 ways around that. But yeah, aside from that, now that I've moved down, let me show you. Let me show you this bit. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if I can do it without spilling everything. But here, you get a nice little shimmer there from the ABs. Let me put that down. Here, this colour here, this sort of, it's like a purple pink. Then if it shows, it catch a little shine. Those are new ABs. It's the first time I've had that in this painting, and it's just a really nice colour. Really nice sort of shimmery purple pink. I like that. Made me happy. So after being, oh, hang on, let me get this sorted out. Okay, I think I've got that back how it was. Yeah, so having like gotten through this bit, which was a bit of a slog, these two sections whizzed by because I was very happy to have these pinks. And that is, I think that's the E. Is it the E? It might be the E. Can't remember. Doesn't matter. Well, I'll do E next, and then we'll see. We'll just see if. No, I covered that up. In a moment of common sense, I did cover up the glue. My party trick usually is when I'm doing something like that, is I forget that it's sticky, and then I stick it to the table or I stick it to something. It's just like, but this one is hard to wrestle because I've got it rolled up and on my lap, so I was having trouble there. If the camera took a little jump ahead, you just, you know, you can use your imagination to guess what the wrestling was like. Right, let's see. We'll just shake, shake, shake. I'm going to do a little bit multi-placing. And this is how I work it. So it's like, it's only to give me like a head start. So I had 3 there. And I've got 2 there. And I've got 4 down here. Right, so the sun is dazzling now. We've had a little bit of cloud today. It's not a lot, but it's a little bit. It's enough. It's enough to like take the sting out of it, even though it is quite hot still. It just takes out some of that punishing of being under direct sunlight. But yeah, it's just come out. So if the light changed there, that's why. And I'm now about to sizzle through the glass. Through the glass. Right, so let's just do this one. You can see as well, I do a lot of multi-placing. Like I'll do this way and then I'll turn this way because I've got a thing. It's an annoying thing. I have a thing about the like the repeated pattern where you see like a line of drills. I don't mind gaps and I don't mind wonky drills, but if I see like a gap that runs like down 4, do you know what I mean? If I see rows, then I get triggered. So that's why I don't use a multi-placer very often. And when I do, it's with caution. And as you can see, I'm only using it for twos here. So as I mentioned before, this glue isn't the best. Seem to be saying that all the time about DAC these days. Their glue, I wish they'd sort it out. But it's very hard to see why they would want to sort it out because everybody, like, if you're, oh, I'm going to get myself in trouble now because I'm going to say this, but in the VIP group, everybody's just, there's just too many people. It's just like, no, DAC are the best. They're perfect. Just buy some glue if it goes wrong. It's like, why should I be buying glue to fix a problem? But as long as like so many customers accept that it's well, acceptable, I guess, and don't complain about it, then what's the incentive for DAC to fix it? Hopefully one day they will. So I've just noticed the camera is wobbling and I feel like that might be because of the fan. I've got the fan on. Hang on. Let me just change the direction of it slightly. Okay, hopefully that fixes that. I was like, where's the camera wobbling? I have it on one of these bendy arms. So it's like, you know, the bendy arms. Like the slightest touch. If I touch the camera, like it's just like an earthquake. And like it just, the whole thing rocks. And it was having a little wobble there. I'm like, oh, I'm not touching it. Why are you wobbling? And I'm pretty sure it was the fan. I mean, it's a good fan. I'll give it that. Why is that? Get off. It's a good fan, but I hadn't realised it was quite that good because I've got it a good distance away from me because I didn't want it to be pick up, hopefully, on the camera, on the mic. I mean, words. Right. I think what I'll do is I'll just put a little 2 in there. Oh, well, I guess we're having 3. I put some putty in this just before I started filming. And I took the old putty out right? And I stuck it on the pack of the putty that I took it out of, and then I set up the table, and I thought, oh, I'll get the putty out of the way, move it, because you don't want to see that. I was like, where's the ball of putty, the old putty gone? And I don't know where it's gone. I'm waiting for it to be, find it like stuck to my elbow or my foot or something like that, or worse, like my other half's going to come home from work and be walking about. It's like, oh, why have I got blue tack stuck to me? He's never complained, but I'm pretty sure he's had, because he made a comment the other day about a diamond painting drill, and I'm like, yeah, no, he's had them stuck to him as well. He's a little trooper. It's just like, he knows. It's part of the ritual of diamond painting is like you drop the drills and then you find the drills with your feet or your arm or who knows what. Right, we got a little 3 in here. Right, get that and go up there. I think actually that's right. And now the reason I use this one and not my tweezers is because when it's in little gaps, like when you're doing things with tweezers, like it's good for these outliers and it's good for doing checkerboards and stuff like that because there's no drills. But the minute you have to try and put in a drill in the hole, you can obviously you can do it, and I used to do it, but it occurred to me that it was way too much work. It's like you have just yeah. Anyway, so then I was like, well, I'll just use a pen for that. Why, just doesn't take 2 minutes that way. And it doesn't. It's not like there's a rule that says, oh, you can only use a pen or tweezers. You can't use both. Guess what? Yeah, you can. And I'm a rebel. Get off. Right. So what have I been up to apart from getting all excited again by my checklist? I'm such a simple girl. It doesn't take much to make me happy, apparently. That's good. Oh, so yeah, more diamond painting news. Okay, so I hadn't intended to. Right, I thought I'd done that. But I forgot. I'd only done some. I hadn't intended to buy more diamond paintings after the 8th anniversary. Right, behave. Right, I just want to do these after the 8th anniversary drop because I bought 4 paintings and I don't usually buy 4 paintings at a time. Normally I just buy like 2, maybe 3 as a max if there's something small. But I bought 4 paintings in that drop, which is not like me at all. So I was feeling a bit antsy about it because, I'm not a fast diamond painter. And the problem isn't like me having a stash and buying them. The problem is like I buy them faster than I can complete them. And I don't need to buy much for that to be true because I'm so slow. And I hadn't bought since last August last year. So I felt kind of all right about it. But then I realised my Diamond Art Studio, no, that was an E. My Diamond Art Studio points were about to expire. And it was only for like £2. It's just like, it was $3. But like, I prefer them not to be wasted. Anyway, they had a painting in their wonky section. And just in the nick of time, I mean, I did think about letting them expire, my points, because it was such a small amount. But then they had a sale and it was a 20% off everything. And Diamond Art Studio don't often hold them sales. Usually it's only the affiliate codes that they have. Like I've got my, my channel code. I've got a Pebblez 10. Oh, look, I'm so good. I am promoting myself. If ever you want to buy a kit from Diamond Art Studio, not Diamond Art Club, not this one, but Diamond Art Studio UK, I've got I always have it in my description. Pebblez 10 gives you a 10% discount off their kits, not off their like accessories, but off their kits. I was going somewhere with that. Oh yeah, but that's usually those codes are always for 10%, and so it was nice that they had a 20% code off. And I was like, oh, let me have a look, and maybe I can, tie it up with something to use my points on as well. And then I just happened to spot in the wonky section. It's always worth having a look in the wonky section. And there was a couple of paintings in there, but I thought, well, I'll either go for a small one. There was a Christmas one in there, and I nearly got that one. But I was doing a Christmas kit at the time. I'm like, oh, do I really want a Christmas kit? I mean, I can always do Christmas kits, but do I really need one? And then I thought, do you know what? It was on my list, but it wasn't high up my list, if you know what I mean. But suddenly, the circumstances, I think I've mentioned this in something else. I remember saying the name. It's called, well, actually, I can't remember the name. Rainbow Fields, maybe? I feel that I have mentioned that I bought this. But yeah, it was like 20% off. So wonky kits, I think they're probably at least 10% off their normal price, and they're that price all the time. And usually it's just something like a box has been crushed or something like that. It's just like, that's fine by me. As long as the painting isn't damaged, that's fine by me. Anyway, so the kit had been discounted, and then there was 20% off the kit, and then I had my £2 something of loyalty points that I could put towards it. So it meant I bought the kit for £38, which is about $50. This is how I know I've spoken about it before, because I remember I worked out that's about $50, including like all the taxes and shipping and everything. I remember I did that math before, so I don't know where I've said it, but I've said it before. Anyway, so I bought that. It's a whopper. It's like, I want to say maybe 90 cents or something like that long. It's a big one. Right, I'm going to change colours because I want to fill in this. But then I also just this weekend passed Diamond Art Club. Oh. So they had the ducks. There was more ducks. You know, that art by Julia. And she has all her duck ones, and they're very famous. Where is that? Oh, it's not. This is the fairy dust. There's that beautiful purple fairy dust. So it's the... Do I have that on this section? I don't think I do. Rude. It's like the percentage sign, but on an angle. Anyway, I digress. So I'm sure most people do know about the Art by Julia ducks. They're like sort of caricature ducks, and like they're swimming in the kitchen sink or in the bath or stuff like that, doing the laundry. And they're quite they're very limited palettes, and most of them are like well, a lot of them are like quite green, that I wasn't the biggest fan of. That I like just that color palette. Oh, I'm making a right mess out of this. Let's do this. Let's do this line here, and then I don't have to worry about the plastic. Anyway, so yeah, I've liked them, but I've not been a fan of the color palettes. And the only one I've liked was like there was a one that was like sort of sky blues and stuff like that, and it had little bits of red. And there was little bits, but mostly it was blue. But it was in a mystery box, so like that was out of bounds because I was never going to get that. She's too popular an artist for something that comes in a mystery box to be able to get that on a D stash cheaply. So I was like, well, that's the way it goes. Anyway, this one came out on just past Saturday, and it was also in blues. It was a different one, and I was just like, I quite like that one. Do I go for the ducks, even though I don't need more diamond paintings? I'm trying to be patient. There's a couple of diamond paintings I want that are waiting to be re-released from the 8th anniversary, and there's a Yume as well that I wouldn't say no of too. That was like a tiger's head. It's the one they messed up that week. I don't know if you heard of it. They did, you know, diamond, ruby and diamond loyalty people. They get half an hour head start on buying canvases. which I'm not even sure is lower contested than when it opens to the general public, because they have a limited amount that is available for early access, and then they have obviously a bigger inventory for general release. So it's not so much that it's easier, but it just means you've got like double the chance of winning that race. And I was like, should I? I was just like, let's go for it. Anyway, no, I'm talking about two separate things now. So the reason why I was talking about the early access, that was when the Yume Tiger, wow, that was a police car. The Yume Tiger was on the week that they messed up, and they put the entire inventory up for sale for the early access. So come general release, there was nothing left. It already dry, like the plague of locusts that everybody is, because there's a lot of ruby, and it's not particularly hard to get status at Diamond Art Club, especially if you're overseas, because you pay like the import taxes and everything. So it's a bit more expensive for us. But the bright side is that does make it easier to hit the target, which is $500, I think. No, that's just for diamond. I think you can get it for less for ruby, and that gives you early access. Anyway, I don't know why I'm going on about this. The point is, I bought more diamond paintings, and I hadn't planned to, but it turned out, oh my god, karma, not karma, yeah, maybe karma. So obviously I didn't have to, as it turns out, like the ducks were quite expensive, so I could have bought that with the discount and still got free shipping, because it was an expensive painting. It's quite a big one, so I didn't actually need the second item in my cart. But I'd already made up my mind that I was going to buy, I think it's called After the Rain, and it's by Andrea Tremeluto. I might have said her name wrong. And so what makes this interesting is that I have its sister painting from Diamond Art Studio, and they're very well. If you've ever seen them, you'll know they're very, very similar. It is basically the same tiger. It's all to the same style. They're just in different poses. And I thought, you know what, that might make a good comparison project, because I like the tigers in both forms, so I did kind of want it. But in other circumstances, I might have said, oh, I've got a tiger that looks like that. I don't need the second one. Like, even though I like them both, it's just like sometimes, you have to find a compromise to what you can afford to buy. I am not a rich woman, so sometimes decisions have to be made, and usually that decision would be like, well, I've got one tiger, I don't need the other one's a luxury that I can't afford. But I thought, you know what, it would make a good comparison project, because even though it's not the same picture, it's a kind of very similar picture, and so it'd be a chance to check Diamond Art Studios rendering style with Diamond Art Clubs, which is obviously very different, because Diamond Art Club have a very clean style, very crisp rendering, and Diamond Art Studio have a much softer one. There's more confetti, and it works really well for animals. I like it, so it will be interesting to do that. So I bought that as my second painting, and when I looked, I saw a couple of people commenting in the group that they bought that, added it to their purchase and things like that. And I thought, oh, I'll just have a look to see if that one's sold out from the restock. And it was like, because it had been out for a week, so I was like, it's still there, I'm going to get it. And then I looked on, so I bought this obviously on the Saturday, and I think I looked on it was Monday night maybe, Monday night or Tuesday night, and I thought, oh, I'll just have a look out of curiosity to see if it's sold out. Anyway, it's been archived. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So I bought this painting, and I'm glad I did, because it's no longer available, which is a big shame. I'm not going to do an unboxing for it, because obviously you can't buy it anymore. I might show it in my vlogs in my bonus content. If you are new here or need a reminder, I do, albeit I'm a bit slacky, so they're not super often, but I do bonus videos, and you can see all these bonus videos for free on my Discord, which there is a link down in the description. I'm making funny movements with my finger, but they're down in the description is a link to my Discord. It's a small community, but cozy. We all get along well in there and play Wordle. But that is where I post the links to my bonus content, or alternatively, because I know not everybody likes Discord. It's like it's another app, isn't it? It's another form of social media, and like not everybody wants yet another, social media. So if you don't fancy that, then I do have memberships, and that's the way I work it, because I'm not allowed to. Well, technically, I am allowed to do it. I can't post two videos doing the same thing because it's duplicate content, and YouTube hate that, even if it's a private video. So what I do for the Discord is I list it. It's unlisted. It's an unlisted video, so everybody can just click the link in the Discord. But obviously, memberships. If I had it as a membership video, then the people in the Discord wouldn't have access to it. So what I've decided to do, and I did mention this in my last bonus video, but just in case anyone's curious, the way I do it now is I have it listed for members, or I'm going to be doing it from now on. I'll be having it as members only for the first 24 hours, and then I will unlist it, and it will become available for the Discord people. So memberships get it. It's like a members first, but for the bonus content as well. But yeah, it'll just become unlisted, and then I always leave a link to it in a, what's it called, like the community, and on my community tab I always post links there. I've got a playlist for my members, so even if you're not around for that first 24 hours, you can still find the link there. But I thought there's a better way to do it than just putting a message on the community tab, because I do not trust YouTube to push community posts by themselves. But if you are signed up for, notifications, then you get the notification, or it'll show up on your feed briefly, and then hopefully that will be enough. It's a compromise. I know you didn't ask for all this this deep explanation about how I handle my bonus content, but you got it anyway, because that's how I roll. That's what happens when I do not have a list of topics to talk about. Anyway, I will show the ducks probably in that as well, in the bonus video. I'll just add it to the vlog I do, or maybe I'll do it as a proper unboxing, but it'll just be a members only one, because I have noticed that unboxings, they're just, unless it's something like big, like the anniversary and stuff like that, people aren't actually that keen on unboxings. They don't get many views. Like sneak peeks, yeah, sure, people are keen on that because it's before they're going to be purchasing on a big event. But like for just after the fact, yeah, not that much interest. And I decided that I can't be bothered. It's quite a lot of effort to make a video, and I can either make a video and it'll get a few views, or I can make a video that will appeal to more people, and that it's one or the other. So I may as well do the one that at least appeals to, I won't say the masses, to the few people that very nicely, generously watch my content. Then I may as well make it so it appeals to more of you, keeps you happy, and that way it's optional. If you want to watch an unboxing of something else behind the scenes, then yeah, that is extra content. So it's up to you if you want to watch it or not. I'm in a funny rambly mood today. Let's blame the heat. It's a lot easier to blame the heat than just me running my mouth. I do get myself into trouble sometimes when I run my mouth, though. I always say it. I always say, "Oh, I never made it." Like very occasionally, if I've got a lot to say, and I'll be like, "Oh," and I know I have to work because I have the worst memory in the world. I know I'll never remember to talk about all the things, but if there's just like not a huge amount going on, and there isn't at the moment, because with the heat wave, it's not like I'm going out and doing things. I'm like at the moment, like get out, do my chores, get home as soon as possible. Do not pass go. Just get out, get back, get out of the heat because it's just like it's just I can't be doing with it. But it does result in not a lot happening. Though I am doing a lot of diamond painting. I should probably be doing more videos, shouldn't I? But there we go. I'm not very good. I'm not very organised. But yeah, what it means is when there's not a lot to talk about, I'm just like, oh well, I don't need a list. I don't need a reminder list. When I say it's a list, so there's usually like a post-it note. Right, let's just make sure that it's all a bit tidier up there because I don't want it obviously showing where the section changes. Right, so is that my last of my E's? E's are good. Right. But yeah, I always say, oh, when I don't have a list, I always get myself into trouble because then I just bounce about talking about, well, anything. It's just like, and that's when I say things that get me into trouble. That said, once I say it, it's usually I stick with it. Technically, I could edit it out. I think I've only done that once. I can't even remember what it was. It was in my early days. I was probably being just like too paranoid about it. Now I think I just roll with it. But nobody's come for me yet. Yet. That is the benefits of a small channel. Is nobody comes for you because you're too small. Nobody notices. I did have someone on my colouring channel the other day, random thing. So I put and it was an old video as well, and I'd done it was like two colouring books. I know you're not interested in colouring, but it doesn't matter. It could be anything. Could have been two diamond paintings. It was like a comparison project in a way. I had two colouring books that was the same sort of theme, but there was one was a colour by number and one wasn't. So I was going through the book to see if what the overlap was, and clearly on one of the pictures, I've said like it's nearly identical. Like this is different. This is all the same. This is all the same. But that little bit is different. Anyway, I don't know who upset her that day because this person came along and they're like, it's not identical. Identical means the same. If it's not the same, it's not identical. Like, I'm like, all right, fair enough. She had a little rant at me. I didn't answer. I just gave her a heart. If so, you never know what someone's going through, do you? If someone's had a bad day, and it wasn't one of them troll accounts, like with username what, which is usually just somebody joined YouTube to troll. So you never know what someone's going through, and and I guess technically she's right, identical, but like it was about context. Like you can say something is identical except for like that's how sentences work. But like no, not for her. But she was very angry with me, angry enough to comment. I don't mind. I have been on the internet many years. Just this water off the duck's back. Good job on buying all these ducks. I tell you, I mentioned it in my unboxing. I think because I had that other duck painting, I think I'm getting a bit of a thing for ducks. I blame cruising because when if you've been here for a while, I go on my cruises and like there's this whole thing a bit like that fad that went through a few years ago where people would paint rocks and leave them for people and say like be happy and like it's supposed to lift your mood and give you it's just fun. and you can keep the rock or you can move it and let somebody else find it. It's one of those things that I have it on cruise ships, cruising ducks, and it's a whole thing where you hide a duck in a plant pot or on a shelf, and then people can find it and it make them smile, right? And so, like, usually I'm just like, oh, I found a duck. But this last cruise I went on, I decided to become a ducker. I have to be very careful how I say that. I'm a bit of a ducker. What a ducker. Anyway, right. So we took some ducks and we took some little mini ducks. But the thing with the mini ducks is they're really cute, but you have to be careful because if a little toddler found it, then obviously it's a choking hazard. So we had to be very careful where we left those ducks, and we tended to leave them like in the bars and things like that because it is for adults. Like you do get people gatekeeping. It's just like I saw someone taking a duck and it's for a child. It's just like it's not for a child. It's just like adults are allowed to have fun. Whenever I leave my ducks, because I'm a little ducker, um, sorry, I do say the same joke over and over again. That's what I'm like. So yeah, well, when I leave my ducks, it's for everybody. Anyway, for a safer option in more like public places, I had these little stickers as well that have ducks on and in various poses, and like one was in a rubber ring swimming, and one was I don't know just a duck, and one was going for a walk. It had a little straw hat on. It was all this sort of thing. So I would leave them in more safer areas because, like, the worst thing a kid's going to do there is going to take it off the sticker and stick it to a wall. Why is that not sticking down? I'm going to go with it not being sticky because that does not. I wondered if it had a fat butt, I should say, but no, it's not very sticky because that's what we talk about on DAC canvases these days. I'm going to just use my tray to try and embed it. I do this sometimes. Like I just drag. I'm pressing down on each four corners, and like I use that to apply pressure. It's just in the same way as if you rolled it, but I can't be bothered to roll it, so we just do it with a tray. Yeah, but it's like so. I was obsessed. I was leaving ducks everywhere and looking for ducks as well, and I did get a nice little haul of ducks to bring home with me, and even a duck keychain and all this sort of thing. I'm not doing keychains. Anyway, where was I going with that? I can't remember. But I think that's just like what's triggered the whole duck thing. Because now it's all about the ducks. I bought some cover minders. You're going to see them in my vlog. So I won't talk about them anymore because I've not posted that yet. I have edited most of it. I'm going to film a little bit after this video actually. To show something I've finished. Which does not happen very often. It's only a small thing from my 26 challenge. I'm going to show it in the vlog. I'm going to film it after this, and then once I've done that, I think I'm going to upload the vlog, even though the vlog isn't that long. I think I need to save up for less often. No, what do I want to say? Save up. I don't want to save it up for so long. I would save up lots of little bits, and like sometimes it'd be a month from the first time, and by then it's old news. So I think I'm going to try, even if it's shorter. But then you can get it out sooner, if that makes sense. Anyway, so I don't even know how I got to that bit. I was talking about ducks. Oh yeah, so I've got some duck cover minders, and you're going to see them in that vlog that's coming up. Probably I'll do that at the weekend because this is going up Thursday. Tomorrow it's Wednesday, so it's only a few days, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. But I've gone duck crazy. I never do things by halves. It's not the bees, and it's not the turtles. It's now also the ducks. I think I just like critters. I'll shake. I tell you, I have many problems with the AC, but they do have good drills. There's so little trash. The quality control for their drills are really good. only they could match that with their canvases. My only quibble with them. Well, not my only quibble. My only quibble with their kits. I have plenty of quibbles with Diamond Art Club itself. I doubt if I'll ever be. I'm never going to be a person that gets sneak peeks because I'm always like commenting about DAC's marketing practices. I probably won't ever sneak peek anybody. I don't schmooze enough. Schmooze. Right. How long are we going for? Nearly an hour. So I think I'll just finish off this colour. Maybe I'll put in the ABs. That's what this little cross symbol is. And then I'm going to call that done because that's about half a section. And I'm okay with that because I only finished this section yesterday. So I am ahead of schedule. And then doing half there, I can do half tomorrow. And then that's 1 square every 2 days, which is what I need for my target. And after that, what have I got there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I've only got 4 squares to go for my unofficial goal of what to finish in July. If I'm a good girl, big if, I can have that done by next week, which means I've finished a week early. And then it's up to me if I do more. A motorbike going past. Or I can just get on with some of my other 26s. I think next week I'm going to do a kitting up. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind which one to do. I've got 2 lots of storage that are roughly the same size, well, number of pots, but one of them's the pill pots and one of them's like the jars, but they're both, one's a 56 and one's a 60. So I could do a small kit, smallish kit in each. So I just need to figure out which set to use for which painting. I think I know which ones I'm going to do, but I need to pull them out and have a look. But for those who enjoy kitting ups, that is next week. And I will try and make a list of topics to talk about so that I don't get myself in trouble. Right. Oh. Shall I do this? Let's just do this. For this one. Probably was white. I can't see what I've done. Because the putty is white. And the putty was on the side. Right, but I think that's okay. I'll just... Nice thing about a multiplacer, it does mean you get like quite a straight line, which occasionally I want, just not one after the other. That's why I very rarely place 2 lines next to each other with the multiplacer. Bam. And then after that, so that's what I'm filming directly after this. Is no, not the kitting up. I'm doing the vlog thing directly after this. Then I'm doing a colouring book video for my other channel. Get off. And then, well, then I guess I'm editing tonight. It's quite good in a way. I generally I dislike editing. It's a bit boring. Until it occurred to me, and I mean it's still quite boring, but it occurred to me that I can treat my video as a whip and chat. That, as you know, that I have on in the background, my YouTube radio. I do have to pay a little bit more attention because I need to make sure that, you know, if I say something weird or sneeze, because I do big sneezes. I'm not one of these ones that I'm not one of them. I'm like, oh, blow my head off. So it would give everybody probably a heart attack if I sneezed. I did it the other day, right? I sneezed on the video and it's like, it's fine, I'll just edit that out. And then I was doing a diamond painting while I was editing, and I gave myself a heart attack because obviously I forgot that I sneezed. Just this huge yell in my ears. I'm like, oh my god. At least I remembered to edit that bit out. There was no forgetting that. I nearly jumped out my seat. But yeah, so I'll get that edited. But it was like a bit of a game changer, really. I still find it a bit boring, but it's not as boring. I mean, I'm bored because I'm listening to myself, and also I know what I'm going to say. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like any interesting topics, but it has that same effect where it's just a bit of background noise while I'm diamond painting. But for once, I do have to pay a bit more attention to what's going on, because that's the nice thing about like the YouTube radio in general. Like I can't do audiobooks and diamond paint. I cannot concentrate, and then all that happens is I have to keep. I'm like I start listening again, not realizing I've stopped listening, and I'm like, what's going on? I do not understand the story anymore. Like, there's been some big plot point that's happened in a conversation or something, and the story has moved on. So then I have to rewind it to figure out what's going on. And then 20 minutes later, I'm like, oh, what's going on? Deja vu. So I've given up on audiobooks. I can do TV a bit better. I don't know. I think just because audiobooks, rely on descriptions a lot more, whereas on TV, well, this is just a conversation. It's just a, a bit of noise, but you can look up and like with the TV, and like you can see what's going on the screen, even if you haven't been listening. Like you can kind of get the gist that it's moved on to somewhere else and something what's going on. Whereas with an audiobook, like you don't always realise that it's a different scene. It's like they've moved somewhere else. So yeah, I don't do audiobooks anymore. Right. Oh, it's getting toasty. I'm getting so toasty through this glass. So let's pick. Well, I mean, I think you all know what emoji I'm going to pick. I think I might have done this one before as well. I've done the ducks before, haven't I? I might have done that for the unboxing. I remember now. Oh, it sucks having no imagination, like me. I was like, oh, well, I know what we'll have. We'll have the ducks. A duck emoji. But I forgot. I've had that before. I'll repeat myself enough as is without doing the emojis as well. So let's do something different. Let's go for, what else can we talk about? Talk about snow. Talk about new. Oh, okay. So let's have. So I've been talking about spending money, haven't I? Been bad, and I bought paintings. So I will have your currency from where you live in the world. That would be quite cool. So if you are in the UK, I'll have a pound sign, and if you're in the US, I'll have a dollar sign. And if you are anywhere else in the world, you can put your local currency, a euro, or I don't know, wherever. I'm not going to go through all the countries in the world, apart from the fact that I don't know them. But yeah, let's do that. Or if you don't want to put like that, then if you've got, I don't know if there's an emoji for a pile of gold or coins or anything like that. Oh wow, look, I thought I'd done that, but I've done one extra. It's all right. It's a bonus. That is because the plastic is not on straight. So by the bottom, this was not done, and I forgot. Never mind. Got some bonus drills down for. Let's do that. Got bonus drills down for next next section I work on. I'm gonna put that there. Let's put that in there. I've still got a bit of space. And then we'll do that. All right. It's under the plastic. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So money. I'll have it all. I'll have all your money. So that's the emoji. Not quite at the end. We're close. I don't like putting it at the end because I know people skip ahead to the end to see if there's something to put in the comments, and that's cheating. I want what do they call them? Super fans. I told you about this, didn't I, before? YouTube have this word for people who like stick with their favorite creators. Oh, is that in there? Oh, do you know? Yeah. I didn't feel like it was going down though. Hmm. Um, well, I shouldn't say favourite. I would never assume that I was a favourite creator, but you know, regular people who will watch all your videos as opposed to just like the drive-bys. So you're my super fans. Last three. See, this is what I mean about how like you get the corner and it gets stuck on the glue, and then you can't get it to fit into the square. But I can't do it. Well, I can do it if I wanted. Just it pulls out the stuff out the stuff like wax. I don't like that. Or it either pulls out the wax off your pen, or it pulls out off the glitter off the drill. And I don't want my I want all my drills to be super glittery, but I could not be bothered with that. Right then, that is it for today. Short and sweet. Like I say, next week I will be back to kitting up, and for the 26 for 26 challenge, which seems to be goes on and on and on, and I'm loving every second of it. I appreciate a thumbs up on the way out the door if you wouldn't mind, and thank you so much for watching. See you all again soon, and bye for now. Bye.